of
We're live.
Oh,
hey guys.
hey
We
guys.
are tWoTcast, episode 301.
No, he doesn't know. No. Okay. All right, everyone shut the f*** up. Let's ready to record.
We like to start every show by yelling, "We are tWoTcast." Can you do that with me? On the count of 1, 2, 3, go. We are tWoTcast. Now we can start.
The Wheel of Time Reread Podcast. Explicit and R. Freaking rated. Jono's the wild card. Always talking shit. Joe's the straight man. He's a total dick. Tom is still obsessed with X-Men.
Previously on X-Men.
We are
I always forget that one has a lot of song at the end. Just a lot of padding.
How dare you call it padding? That was made for us by...
Well, I mean, he did that so we could start talking over it on the audio podcast and leave the song playing underneath. And then I always forget that we don't do that anymore. I'm like, oh shit, I should stop this. No one wants to hear this. 30
How
seconds.
dare you? Again, Taffy Bennington made us that.
No,
Taffy and Otto.
Oh, Tato.
I didn't really do anything much. He probably did that. He probably completely knows you don't talk over the tail anymore, and he just did it to fuck with you.
Well, I think Tom is trying to bring in the fact that we should probably intro ourselves.
We are. You are listening / watching tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time Reread podcast / YouTube show now. We don't know what to call it anymore. Now covering Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime, specifically the fan screening. And this is going to be a non-spoiler review, unlike what I posted in Discord, of episodes 1 and 2, and basically just our general impressions of the fan screenings that we all attended, which were in many different cities.
Yeah, we're a very widespread podcast here.
Yeah, with me is Jono.
Jono.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Hey,
and
man.
Tom's here, too.
Study your math.
And a special guest for the second episode in a row. What an honor. Taffy Bennington.
Thanks for having me again.
Yay.
You know who said that?
We're so
Otto
happy you're
said
here. We'll have you every time.
I thought we made it clear that we were slowly phasing Jono out, and he wasn't even supposed to be
That
here.
was the plan.
I mean, I've got to leave pretty early, so I'm pretty much happy to phase myself out.
Good. As planned.
Jono and I were in Atlanta for the fan screening with a bunch of JordanCon people. And Tom, you were in New York, and Taffy, you were in LA. But I guess Jono has to dip out pretty early, so we're going to talk about Atlanta first, maybe?
It makes us sound like really impressive. Like we were just coast to coast in all the major cities.
We took the tWoTcast bank account. We flew our people to many different cities to experience the fan screening.
Taffy Bennington.
And we also live streamed it to each other, so we understood what each other.
Our LA correspondent.
So I mean, look, we can probably all start off with how did you feel? I mean, like not Atlanta centric or New York centric or LA, but just I mean, I personally thought it was fucking awesome.
I don't really
the entire show.
I had a big disconnect going in. Like I knew I was there for an event, but I still until it started, I was like, but obviously I'm not going to watch this TV show. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it's a weird thing.
I think I did the same thing.
Yeah, I felt like I was going to a movie, but not really. Like it was all kind of weirdly surreal.
Yeah, it was very.
At one point, I saw the line. I thought it was
really
funny.
call it Twat TV. Sorry.
And I was just thinking, I was like, if this was just like a terrible movie, but we got word that they were going to play the Wheel of Time trailer ahead of it, I bet this line would have been the same amount of people.
Probably.
Can you tell me about the lines where you guys were?
It was technically line segments, honestly, because like there was a line outside, which then became the line inside, but that line was divided in two for no reason. That was really a line to get in the line. The only reason they did that
was divided, but so that you could enter the different theaters, dummy.
No, that was the same theater.
No, I know it was all the line for our show, but there was other theaters to go into. So
I know, but they just divided. There was just a 30-foot gap between the two lines, but they're the same concentric people. It was
Riveting.
very confusing.
Anyway,
That was the line.
John, do you want to talk about your line issues?
I don't.
All right, we should
Say, yeah, we'll leave that alone. Suffice to say,
Jordan Kahn invited me to go before we even knew Taffy. It was the one who even told us that you could get tickets to the fan screening. But like Jordan Kahn invited me to go, but only because I dressed up as Matt like a million years ago. And they wanted cosplay people to go. So like I was like, oh, I gotta fucking pull a Matt costume out of my ass out of the closet, buried in dust, and
actually, it was
I haven't even opened the box since we moved. But then, so long story short, we had like a guaranteed seat, me and my wife, and then like Jono, I was like, well, what about Jono? But he got a ticket, so I was like, hey, can you just like sneak Jono in? Like, you know, I know he's not part of the VIP group, but can you just like let him come through behind us? And then it was like, I don't know, 5 minutes before we were supposed to go in, and we find out that Jono's has to go to the back of the line and wait. And we're like, oh shit, we should probably figure this out real fast.
Could you imagine not being a VIP to this event? That would have been just depressing for me.
It's the worst.
And then
I mean, of the four of us, there was only one of us that wasn't a VIP.
I showed up back and says, "Get out of this line, you're done." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, come back to the front." I was like, "Okay."
I got there.
Well, Jono, we talked to a few people, and they were like, "You got to go stand in line." And he's like, and the problem is that me and Jono had just been hanging out in the lobby like the whole time. He's like, "I could have been in line the whole time." So he went all the way to the back, and I continued to just be like, talk to this one person, and just be like, "Why don't you just let him in right here? Why not right here?"
Good job. That's good.
And it finally worked. And she was finally like, "Wait, is he with you?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Oh, well then go get him." And I was like, "Okay." And I walked all the way past like a million people, and Jono was at the very back, and I was like, "All right, Jono, come on, I got it."
Yeah, they probably looked at me like,
"Oh yeah,
like who the fuck is that guy?"
We had a long line, but the VIPs were just kind of milling around the front of the line, but off to the side. And I could tell people were looking at us like, who the fuck do these people think they are? And then all of a sudden, like, somebody came out from the theater and was like, started checking our names off a list and putting VIP wristbands on. And then I thought a riot was actually going to start.
Oh, wow. That's
people
crazy.
came over to like start asking, like, wait, are we getting wristbands? And the security wanted nothing to do with it. They're like, no, go back in line. And I was like, and first
wow.
I felt special.
That's serious.
Bad. Like, I was like, oh, but you know, just embrace it.
So New York was intense. Atlanta was way more laid back. They just gave all the VIP bracelets to Jimmy from Jordan Con. He was just like, here you go, guys.
Oh yeah, we had security.
No one was.
Well, they had to check your vaccination card in New York to even let you in the building. So security had to come out and check the VIP.
Did not have that problem.
Yeah, we did that too, of course.
Yeah, we live in Atlanta, which is in the state of Georgia, and they did not check our vaccine cards.
No.
Good job on no spoilers so far.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Except unless you're talking about the actual vaccine card spoiler.
It was pretty fun. They had like the photo booth. I'm sure they had this at your guys' locations, but they had like the photo booth set up, and you could get like a photo with the video-ish background. Like
it's a lot of people.
It's the Waygate.
Posting that, and I could not figure out how to put that on Twitter for the life of me, or even just save it as a picture.
I was mixed on whether I wanted to like, jump in there for a picture and do a dumb interview afterwards, or if I wanted to just get the fuck out of there. Because it was, I don't know. I don't know if I wanted to do an interview or not. Did either of you guys do a reation interview?
No.
Did you guys do it?
We almost
No, I did a pre-interview beforehand. But I didn't do the after like reaction video or like interview thing.
I didn't either. They asked. I was dressed up, so the crew kept asking me, "Will you come do this?" I'm all, "No, thanks."
That's
they fed Joe lines, and it looked the funniest thing. Like, because I was just sitting there like, staring at him like this from behind the camera but for the pre-interview. And like, you know,
he was like, make sure you mention all the things there is to do. And he's referred to like the logo on repeat behind, what's it called? Step and repeat or whatever. You know, like behind me, like with all the logos. He's like, mention this, mention that. And I was like,
but why would you mention it
If
as
I
like
say
an
step and
advertisement
repeat,
for an event
no
that
one
we-
knows that, but someone in marketing, and they're gonna be like, "That's fake."
And it's behind you. Like, why the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
If
what
you
are you here to
mention it,
do?
it's not like anyone's going to be like, "Oh, I want to go to that." It's already happened.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a step and repeat to stand in front of.
Well, that's what the step and repeat. They're going to keep showing it for next days.
It was
Yeah.
it was fine. No, the guys interviewing people were super nice.
Oh, they
It was-
seem
it was
really nice. And then, like, all the people from Amazon that were there, they seemed really nice and had their shit together. But it's just kind of funny to watch Joe like be fed lines when Joe was like, and of course, you know, Joe doesn't have a podcast or anything, so he, you know, has no idea on how to.
Also, hilariously, well, they asked me like an initial question, like, "Why are you here and why are you excited?" And I spoke like right into the camera, and I was like, "Blah blah 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 blah," and I just like rattled off this thing, and then he's like, "Actually, the interviewer was like off to the right, and he's like, actually, I need you to look at me, not the camera." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I tried to re-say it, and I messed up like 3 times in a row. I was like, "Just never mind."
Fuck me. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm here.
That's
I was
cool.
like, "Wheel of the World, shit, World of Premiere, shit, Wheel Premiere of the What time? Damn it!"
That sounds good to me.
It was good. It was good.
If I saw your promo, I'd watch the shit out of the show.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Did you guys have reserved seats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had 2 rows of reserved seats. The front one was kind of filled up, and I walked in behind.
Yeah.
I was with Joe and Jen from Talk Aranria.
I was with Joe and
Walked in
Joe.
and they had sat.
Wait, you were with Joe and Jen, and Tom wasn't there from Talk Aranria.
Yeah, I was sub Tom. But we go in and we go into the second row. We sit dead in the middle, and then an hour goes by, and no one sits down on either end of the row next to us the whole time. I was like, I joked around. I like looked over them and like maybe they're afraid of our star power.
That's got to be it. What other kind of fucking reason?
That's really weird.
Nobody sat next to us until Bill showed up 10 minutes before it was supposed to start and saw me. And he's like, "Oh, great!" And he came over and sat down next to me. And then they took, since no one was in the row, they took some of the reserve things off and let normies sit there, which I was kind of.
No,
I'm sorry to hear that.
They still kept a buffer between us, but it was a little too close for me.
you
Did you
know, they
clean your
did. They
jacket
did that same
afterwards?
thing for Jono. Actually, there was
Technically.
2 VIP seats next to me, and then Jimmy asked me. He's like, "Hey, Joe, give me those," and I took them out of the seats, and I was like, "Oh, they're probably just gonna sit some people next to me and Lauren." And then he was like, "Where's Jono at?" I was like, "Up front." He was like, "Jono, get over here."
That's good. That's
So that was nice. So me and Jono actually got to sit next to each other, even though he wasn't VIP.
Oh,
How
so
dare
you had to sit next to a normie.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
to. He wouldn't let me touch him,
And it was
the whole
Jono.
time.
It's even worse.
Just
Oh,
grabbing
yeah.
Joe's
Why
thigh.
did we let you touch him? You're a ginger. Gross.
Taffy, what was LA like?
The line was hidden, which is really smart because probably half of the people would have turned around and gone home if they saw a huge line in LA. I didn't realize this. I was thinking about it today because we parked, you go up, you check in with the vaccine card and all that stuff, and then they're like, the line's there around the corner, and then you just see like some people and you're like, oh, this isn't too bad. Like, all right, yeah, I don't think it's a really big. Okay, first of all, clearly I've been to Atlanta just to hang out with other Wheel of Time fans for years because I don't know anybody out here that enjoys the series like we do, you know? So I kind of wasn't expecting that many people. I wasn't too worried about seats and stuff. And then I'm like, where's the line? They're like, it's not there. I was like, whoa, dude. And it was like all the way on this hidden balcony, all the way around behind the theater. Well, past like 100 people, or well, you know what? It wasn't that bad. I ended up being about in the middle of the line when the lovely Tom came and got me. We were starting to.
Oh,
You don't have to wait in line as a VIP.
Come on, get your shit together.
I wasn't. I got the pass. I'm like, I'm gonna go. I'll get in. I won't get in. The wheel weeks.
I talked to
you
Tom
didn't
DeSimone
know
from Dragonmount at the last second. It was like, hey, I want you to get Jeffy Pennington and her husband into the screening. I need
I
a
love
favor.
that Otto can't get into a, Otto's connection in the industry count for nothing, but Joe's connections in the industry, yeah,
Are
that's
we,
where it's at.
are
Yeah.
we turning a lot of people against us with this episode and talking about how special we are and how we cheated the system?
We just know a lot of people, Tom.
As a normie,
I don't think that makes it better.
Remembered, like, she saw I was wearing roller derby Moraine, and she's like, "Oh, you were right away. I remembered your costume from like 8 years ago." And I was like, "That's crazy." She's so sweet. They're both awesome.
I hope.
Oh
all
yeah,
the
Tom and
just
Aaron
go
are
with
great
that.
people.
Yeah.
You're elitist pieces of shit because we are. With our own
They're,
dumb,
But they only
smallest
turned
rich
away like
podcast.
4 people. It was
That's
cool
fucking
because we
sick.
got to go in and we got a pretty nice seat. And then, but by the time the theater filled up, they only kicked out 4 people, which was a bummer.
They
They're just
kicked
so
him
that
out.
that was-
leave the theater. I was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
Okay.
seriously. Don't let him in if there's not enough room. That's just rude.
Well, they did
Yeah.
this. Like, if you look on the tickets, which you did, Tom. That like we can't guarantee you a seat. Well, stop doling them out then. Like
Well,
have
yeah,
a
keep
fucking.
the number of people going in and don't let people in and then tell them they have to leave. That's horrible.
Yeah, it was. I felt really
yeah.
bad.
And you know what? I think it's Joe's fault that you had to kick those people out.
The people at the front of our line,
But they must have gotten there really late to be that late, because there was just almost the perfect amount of people for the theater there.
the people in front of our line had been in line since 9:30 a.m.
What?
And we knew that because as we were standing over in the
This is
small
why you always
VIP
get
line.
Yeah.
Jen checked Twitter and there was a picture of us standing in line, and the people were just like, "Hey, look, Tucker Henry is here."
And you're like, I'm not Tucker
He grabbed
Henry.
the phone and walked over there, and he was just like, "Hey, who took this picture? Who are you guys?" And met them, and that's how we found out. 9:30 though. That's
Fuck that.
craziest thing.
Yeah, that's
Was
insane.
it cold at least? This way they're just
It
slowly
was
dying of hypothermia.
Freezing. It was freezing.
Fantastic.
It was
That's good.
outside.
It was
Yeah.
low 40s.
Okay, well that's not that bad. It is November.
Bad enough to be outside for fucking 11 hours waiting in line.
Yeah,
They have
that's a long
street
time.
out,
I mean, they could have like walked
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
a parka.
What, Taffy?
Did they have a yurt?
A yurt? Yes.
No. I guess they just had
They have
regular.
a pop-up tent.
I think they had a sex igloo.
Ah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did you guys
Well-
get free water and popcorn? That's what I got.
Fuck yeah, we did.
Sure did.
Yeah. Also,
I also got a free beer.
you're
I only
welcome.
You know what?
I
I
only-
really like it. Really was nice, Jono. Like I wasn't there right away. Jono was there ahead of me, and he was like, "Do you want a beer?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." I walked in the door and I just got handed a beer. It was perfect.
Well,
Jono really took care of me, like like the VIP status I had deserved.
I only
Well,
want the
guess-
popcorn to take my mask off once in a while to just like fake eat it for 2 seconds, and then I had to put it back on.
we got the VIP treatment because we were the first people at the bar. I know that's shocking to hear. And the guy who got there was so flustered and frustrated that he like didn't know where anything was. He's like, I haven't been here in a week and everything's changed. Just take these drinks.
Summer.
So we got 2 free whiskey and cokes, Moscow Mule, and Joe's beer. And he's just like, just go. I'm gonna try to fix this later. And I was like, okay,
Nice.
We had no
Fantastic.
alcohol.
Why, thank you, sir.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
VIP treatment. Fuck the seats.
I
Technically
tipped him
legal.
very well when I got my next beer. Don't worry about it.
I just
Speaking
felt
of multiple
bad as well.
beers, I did get up and go pee in the middle of episode 2.
Did
Yeah,
you?
that was dumb.
Apparently,
get
I
up
didn't
in a
miss
second.
anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
went out-
I was like,
we got this
I
from-
gotta wait, and then I was like, halfway through the episode, I was like, can't wait.
You should have gone during the intermission.
I will say after sitting
There
in
wasn't
that
much of an
seat for
intermission.
3
It was so
hours
fast.
and like ready to we had no intermission, and I was like, it was 3 hours. I'm like, all right, that was awesome. I'm ready to smoke. And then like waiting for everyone's phones to get unlocked as we're leaving the theater was like,
Yeah.
it was like waiting for the plane to get to the gate and everyone to just get the fuck off and out of your way. I was like, oh my God, this is cool.
But did you check your luggage? Yeah, no, it was fascinating too because they have. I mean, I think we can mention the fact that they've got the animated stuff that they showed right after as well.
That looks
Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah.
amazing on the big screen.
Yeah, that looks cool. as
Yeah,
fuck.
I agree. It looked really cool.
I
But
wish
like,
I'd seen that first.
yeah, I felt like it was a weird timing to show that, especially
Yeah.
considering that so much of it was
I
already.
don't
kind of-
know. You don't want to show that. It could have been in between, but you don't want to show that before you see the real show.
I guess that's true, and I'll have like when we actually do the spoiler stuff, I've got thoughts about just how weird that is.
I guess
So-
if everybody doesn't know, they're doing like bonus material animations for episodes and stuff.
Boner
Yeah,
material.
they're dropping it like simultaneously with the episodes or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be.
It was pretty
rad.
cool.
They're calling it. I forgot what it's called. Already.
X-ray.
X-ray. Thank you.
Yeah, that's weird to me.
X-ray. Why is it called X-ray?
Because it's X-rated.
It sounds like X-Men, and
Oh.
they want Tom to watch it.
I think it's. I think that's just. I think
X-Men.
that's how you find it. Isn't it called X-ray when you like click on a scene of any movie on Amazon? It shows like the actors' names and all that shit.
Oh yeah. I think that's what you're talking. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I think at any time during the show, you can just click up and watch that stuff.
And okay. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, I was wondering how that was gonna.
I think it's a
out.
clever way to give backstory to a complicated TV show too.
Agreed. A really good way to like fill out the world that is his world, which is expansive, as we're all well aware, and like just leave the episodes as they are, and just be like, here's this backstory of this city or these people or this kingdom or whatever. Like it was pretty cool. I liked it.
I just thought it was a strange choice for what they would do, considering. But we'll talk about it.
Sure.
Have we made everybody feel safe enough for me to like do my rapid fire 45-second spoiler of everything now?
Oh fuck yeah.
Before they have time to turn off the stream.
The free beer bottle was supposed to be your VIP bathroom. So you don't
We
miss
see
the
two. We
show.
see two like FBI agents come in and just grab Tom and like pull him off.
Jay said we got behind the scenes. Also, did you? Yes, we did. Yeah, there was behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, it was at the end. Where Rosamund, talked about some stuff.
That stuff was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I was fascinated that there was some article out this week or maybe last week that the guy who plays Lan, whose name I cannot remember, had a vision board. Yeah, thank you. Vision board where he wanted to play Lan like a decade ago. That is the weirdest vision board. Did you not see that article?
No.
Like apparently, for some reason, that's always been like. And I don't know if he just kind of took a look at it and says that guy, looks like he can kick some ass or what. But that was literally like a vision board article thing that he's just for a decade.
That's super cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Kathy, who did your intro or who was your host? Was it Tom?
Oh yeah, in LA. Was it Tom?
Yes, Tom and Kitty and Katie.
Oh wow, that's a big one.
Okay, so all from Dragonmount though.
Yeah, and they were
Cool.
fantastic.
How long was it?
Their intro?
Yeah.
Oh, they talked for 5 minutes, and then we just got going with the show.
5 minutes. That's a long intro. I think Jennifer from JordanCon, Jennifer Leags talked for like maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Bill kept it to a tight one.
Yeah, Jennifer's a good public speaker too. Like she definitely just kind of has a good voice for that, and just kind of also probably dealing with special ed kids, which is us. And just kind of, all right, okay, you guys, shut the fuck up. Let's watch this now.
Yeah, it was pretty cute. It was just like, hey, has anybody read The Wheel of Time? Ha 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 ha. Kind of stuff like that. And then she was just
I wish she kept going.
Awesome.
I was glad Joe and Jen from Takarenru were there because I was leaving the hotel to walk to the show, and I texted Bill just to let him know I was on the way, and he said my transmission dropped out. I'm still in Westport, which is 2 hours away in Connecticut, and I felt bad, but also I immediately was like, how am I gonna get my ticket? And is he gonna ask me to do this instead? And I was like, I'm not a public speaker in any way.
That would have been the best. Yes, I would have loved that.
But then he got back to me. He's like, "You're on the list, and Joe and Jen will do it if I can't make it there." And I'm like, "Thank
What's
you."
funny is the text you sent.
You should have at least stood there as fake Tom from Talkin' Ranria.
Put on the real.
How dare you not just immediately jump up there for tWoTcast? What's wrong with you?
Another Tom mask for Tom, but of someone else.
Bill did give us a shout out.
Oh yeah, what was that like?
He started to introduce the show and then said no recording and no spoilers and that stuff. And he's like, or no, even maybe right in the very beginning, he's like, just want to introduce our Wheel-Time celebrities in the crowd and introduce Joe and Jen. And he's like, and there are any tWoTcast fans in the house? And there was a smattering of applause. And I was like,
it's more than there should be.
tWoTcast fans in the house. It's like,
oh my God.
It's just Tom.
That's so crazy.
But then
Oh my God.
I met people in the VIP line. The guy that was standing like to my right, you know, because you're introducing yourselves to everybody, and
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, I know, I'm a fan," and I was like, "Well, I don't know what to say to that."
That's so weird. It's
You
still
lack
weird to this
taste.
day.
Yeah.
And then on Twitter today, somebody was just like, "Oh yeah, I got to meet Tom from tWoTcast," and I wasn't sure who it was, but I met like 20 people in the span of like 30 seconds. We basically all just said, "Hi, this is my name, and kind of moved on with our lives. But
Elitist piece of shit.
well, they didn't tell me that they knew who I was. I just thought I was meeting a random stranger.
That's really what you are.
Like, oh yeah, hey. And I'm like, okay. Well, the other guy that said he was a fan, I talked to that guy for like 20 minutes.
Oh, all right. So you're not a piece of shit, Tom. Good job.
If you don't say anything, how am I supposed to know?
Right.
Well, you
You'd
are.
be like, hey, have you heard our show? Pretty bad.
Jono, how much more time do you have?
I got about 2 minutes.
All right, why don't you say some thoughts and then get the hell out?
Give us your overall impression and give us your rating.
8.5 out of 10 just for a random show. 11 out of 10 because it is what the fuck it is, and it wasn't botched. Like I think it was a good show. Like, you know, I thought it was a little too kind of faux epic at first, like not faux maybe, but kind of like it seemed like they were talking a little bit like this to kind of add import. Yeah, but I mean that's not how people act though, like realist. But anyway, fuck it. But overall, I fucking loved it. Like I said, 8.5 out of 10 for just any show. 11 out of 10 though. The fact that it's just like the fact that it exists is fucking awesome, and the fact that it's good is really fucking cool. And there's some, you know, new thoughts, like new things they put in there that I thought were really cool. Like the second scene in the entire show, I thought was a fantastic addition to really give weight to some of the things. I can't wait to talk and ruin everyone's fucking time when we
if you're like 1,000% spoiler averse, we will give vague allusions to things like that. We're not going to say anything specific, but I know
pissed off from hearing
it's spoiler free.
For myself, like even if sometimes I don't even want to hear whether or not somebody liked it.
Yeah.
And then,
oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Me and Joe have had this conversation before. People think they're being clever. They're like, well, I can say this and I won't give anything away, and it always gives something away.
Yeah.
It's the playful like reverse thing, like blah blah died. And I'm like, well now I know they don't die. You know, or I'm like, you don't understand how my brain works. Stop telling me things.
People think it's not a spoiler if they're just like, man, you won't believe the ending. I'm like, well, now I know something weird is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we won't do anything like that.
Yeah, we're going to try.
We're just going to give general impressions of episode 1 and 2 and kind of just how we felt about it. Jono, do you have any summation thoughts before you dip out?
Before you give your rating.
I don't believe the ending in this case. You won't, because there was actually more stuff coming later. So I think what you should know is that episode 2 ends in a cliffhanger because there's going to be a third episode. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. Is that okay to say?
We didn't see the end.
Yeah. So
anyway,
but
there's more episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, spoiling what Dragon Reborn is, we can't because we don't know.
Yeah, I really just fucking loved it. I think I could say that 8,000 times. And driving away, like I was trying to talk to my wife who hates me, and she was just like, "Do you want to talk now?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And at first, I wasn't sure what she was talking about. I didn't know if we'd had an argument, and I just totally missed it. But no, she was just like, "Do you want some time to just kind of like digest it?" And I was like,
"Oh, that's sweet."
No, it's not. She's a horrible, horrible bitch. Check the audience here. It'd be good. No, but yeah, she's like, we can talk as much or as little as you want. And I was like, I want to watch it again. Like, I want to watch it all right now.
Yeah.
And Joe and I had a very lofty goal, which was not be nearly as fucked up as we were for the last Bond movie, because I don't remember half the end of that movie.
I remember being so drunk for that Bond movie with John that I was just like, can this just end already? And I don't do that movie. You know what I mean? And it was a good movie. I was just like, hurry up.
It's almost 3 hours long. That's fair.
Yeah. Man, I had to take one hell of a fucking piss. I'm glad my phone
wasn't because I was like disappointed in the movie. I was just so drunk that I was like, I can't sit here anymore.
We had like 5 different Jack and Cokes in front of us, like just on the table, and we were at a bar.
Yeah. More. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we sought not to do that for this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Men of discipline.
I didn't even have a beer.
I had 2 giant beers, but that's
I was
Yeah.
sober and I liked it, which is stunning. I don't like anything sober. Nothing.
Disgusting.
What the fuck is this piece of shit? It's the Wheel of Time show. I'm sober. It's trash.
All right. With that, I'm sober. Actually, this is my first time ever drinking on our podcast, and I'm going to go rectify that right fucking now.
Okay.
Bye, Yoli. Bye, Tom.
All right. Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Taffy.
Jono.
Bye.
Finally.
Oh, that's weird. But also, thank God. I mean, I'm glad he's here. Not.
That's really good
I
that
don't
he made time to be on and talk to you guys about this. I'm
Yeah,
very
he did.
proud.
Yeah, he did. He's on a work trip randomly, and he's like, "I'll make time." And I'm like, "You fucking better."
I so badly want to talk about the show, which we can't do here.
Right.
And then when this is over, we're gonna hang up. And in our like pre-show before we went live, we were talking about something else, and I haven't had anyone to talk about this with, and I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Yeah. Hey, Tom. You don't have to hang up. We can hang out for a minute
Okay.
after the show.
That is true, because we've covered a lot of stuff here, and I'm starting to get to the point where I'm not sure how much more we can say.
Well, I mean, I want to talk to you guys about your general impressions, kind of like how Jono did. That's a little bit of time.
Start with Taffy, and I'll go have a cigarette, and then I'll be right back.
Okay.
Bye. Have
Taffy,
fun.
let's have a chat. So, what was your spoiler-free review, Taffy?
Well, it was really cool for me to be like, not my home. Well, I mean, I guess I grew up here, but like my home area,
Yeah.
and be surrounded by Wheel of Time fans. A tinker came and talked to me. She's like, "I love your outfit," and she started like dancing and tinkling, and like, "You're so awesome." She was so cool and cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because there wasn't a lot of cosplay. There was very little. Like there was like 3 of us or something.
Well, classically, the way we even know each other is because you're so starved for people to talk to about the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I started emailing you guys all that weird shit at like really late.
Wait, this I was actually going to mention this, but this is important. So this person Penny, and I apologize. Wait, is this Penny that and you can write it in the comments, but someone was dressed as Matt, and I trod upon their hat both ways. And I was like, what was that on the way out and on the way in? And I was like, surely whatever I stepped on won't be there on the way back. And it definitely was. And I hope it's not your hat. And whoever it was, I apologize. I stepped on your Matt hat. But it was very dark in that theater and I couldn't see. And also, I'm sorry I stepped on your foot. If you are, in fact, the same person. Or maybe I stepped on that person's foot and I didn't step on a hat. I don't know.
Maybe I'll get
anyway,
an
I apologize,
answer.
Penny.
I'll tell you.
At any rate, yeah, I was going to mention that hilariously enough that I accidentally stepped on somebody as I went to the bathroom. I'm glad they're here watching.
The same thing.
Yeah, I'm glad they're here to actually hear my apology. I apologize. I'm sorry. Also, we have an infant child, so as soon as the show was over, we ran away from the theater as fast as we could. So I didn't have time to like find them and be like, "Hey, sorry."
And you would have, which is so cool and sweet.
Why? Thank you. So Tinker found you?
Yes,
that was fun.
She was adorable. And her costume was really pretty. Like it had bells sewn on it, and she's like,
cool.
She started doing this stuff. I'm all, you're amazing. It was really cool. Yeah.
I noticed you weren't wearing the roller skates to your roller derby costume.
No, because I didn't want to like mess up getting into this show.
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding.
I know. Like at the old hotel and stuff, like even like the new hotel now, I don't know if like when we go back to JordanCon, I don't know if they're gonna let us wear skates. Because maybe. I'll just wear big boots and paint wheels on the side, you know. Change with it.
I was gonna say you should get those wheelie shoes for adults. You know, where the wheels pop out of the bottom of the shoe. You should get those.
I could get some cords from film reels and just like glue them to the side so it looks like wheels.
Look, it looks like I'm roller skating.
Yeah, just walk it. Yeah, do that.
So, what was your general impression of the episodes? Were you psyched? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
I was so fucking thrilled to be watching it. I don't.
Yeah.
There was a couple of times where I realized I went into like this. I was just completely absorbed into, and then there was times where I was like, oh my God, where am I? And then you go, oh my God, this is, I'm watching this. It's, you know, and I'm looking forward to actually watching it on a television.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see episode 3 on Friday. I'll definitely rewatch 1 and 2 again on Friday.
Did you? I read a couple things about them that they might be releasing all 3 on Friday. Have you read that?
Yeah, I think all 3 are coming out on Friday. I think.
I thought originally it was supposed to. Oh no, that's right. Okay, sorry, I got confused with the whole 2 on Monday night and then 3 Friday. I get confused easily.
Nonsense.
I definitely might have gotten emotional a couple times, but you know, not for sure. Just the whole, I don't know. I like how some of the changes worked out. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, sure. I feel like, and I guess this is as spoiler free as I can make this comment, but there were changes, obviously.
Right.
But I feel like most of those changes were relatively justified, and then they sort of cascaded into other changes. Like once they changed one thing, it's like they had to keep that train rolling, sort of.
Yes.
So as a whole, it sort of felt very different in a lot of ways, but at the same time, you're like, yeah, but I accepted that first change, so all this makes sense. You know, like kind of thing. Like in that way, does that make sense? Without spoiling anything?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, and the first.
So episode, I think I was okay with it. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, I interrupted you.
I don't remember what I was saying.
I think we were just kind of. It's hard. I think we're being pretty careful, not saying specific.
I mean, obviously, everyone knows there's going to be changes. They've talked about there's going to be changes from day one, but like, there wasn't any changes that I was specifically like why the fuck did they do that, or you know, that kind of thing. I mean, and then when we do a spoiler review, I'll definitely go into like detail more in terms of like that one was unnecessary. Why did they do this? Or this one was fine, and why did they do that? You know, like kind of thing. But like, there's definitely like a sense of like, okay, well, you know, you got to change stuff for the show. You're compacting a huge amount of story into like 8 episodes, and then, you know. So I think it all made sense in the long run.
Yeah, and I felt like they kind of resolved that, and the feeling of for new viewers, for 30-year
for sure.
readers, by the end of the first episode, definitely into the second, you're like, okay, cool, I can roll with this. This makes sense, and like, I thought they did a good job with that. There's a lot of good. They did a good job of translating from to the adaptation, I think.
I feel like the characters were really strong and felt like they had a lot of backstory, even though they might have gone like the pacing was fast or like faster than most of the book readers probably want it to be. I think like the characters were really strong. So when they did speak or they did like have something going on, like it had a lot of depth to it. And I liked that aspect of it. Even though the pacing was quicker and like moving the story at a quicker rate than like maybe the book readers would be used to or want from the show.
I think
overall,
the changes you guys were talking about is because like I think a lot of it was to give more character to some of our main characters that don't get that much in the beginning. So I don't think that would upset anybody necessarily.
And it becomes obvious by the time you're watching the second episode, it kind of settles with you where you're like, this makes sense. Yeah.
And I guess the people that don't know, like, I thought it was a lot more faithful to the books than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Not that I wasn't expecting per se, but I don't know.
It was just like to get from point A to point B in the first episode, like everything I was expecting to be there was there, but there was like stuff in between like scene 3 and scene 4 that I know in my head from the book that wasn't in the show, and I almost felt
something.
And like, no, you just know what's supposed to be. Like it's almost like I could see the whole.
Yeah.
It was strange.
It was.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that. Like your brain's filling in moments, and you're like, "Wait a minute, that's."
It's very strange.
It doesn't matter that it's not there. It's certainly fine that it's not there. But yeah, like there's little moments like that where you're kind of like your book brain is kind of going like, what the fuck? Why are these two people talking or whatever? You know, that kind of thing.
I could see the holes, so that made it seem like it was skipping. And then on top of that, like I was trying so hard to absorb every detail of it that it felt like it was moving at like 3 times normal speed. So like all that, like I loved it, but I need to see it again to like really.
Oh, for sure. I was just saying to I mean, I know you were kind of listening off camera, but I mean, like I was just saying to Taffy, I was like, when episode 3 drops on Friday, like I'm definitely rewatching 1 and 2 before I watch 3. I need a minute to be like, okay, I'm calm now. I can watch episode 1 and 2 and just watch and enjoy it, and then I'll watch 3.
It happens in movies that I'm like super anticipating, and I'm just like,
yeah, for sure.
I can barely tell what's going on because I'm trying so hard to take it all in.
So the one, and again, I know we keep fucking reiterating this, but spoiler free. What? Oh yeah, Willie Stickman. One thing that I knew was going to happen, or I assumed was going to happen, was like Barney's crushing it as Matt, and knowing that he's not going to be Matt in the next season, I was like, oh no, I'm already falling in love with him. Damn it!
Yeah, all right,
you're gonna kill me.
That's not a spoiler because
I know it's not a spoiler. I'm just saying he crushed it. He did a great job, and I'm just like, oh no, he's not in season 2. I'm gonna love this character, and then I hope the next guy does great. Like
we weren't guessing,
but I mean, he's already doing a good job.
Yeah, but he was not bad at all.
No, he was good. I mean, I don't think there was any headlining characters at all that I was like, that's not that person. You know, like just as a spoiler-free thing, like. Just really all around. They kind of nailed their characters.
Yeah, if anybody has been watching interviews or clips and has liked the way their characters are being portrayed, they're going to enjoy it still when they watch the show because their performances are even stronger. You can tell when they talk about how they care about the characters. It's obvious, I feel.
Yeah, it was. Even if we could do spoilers, I don't think I have a complaint. I just have stuff I'd want to talk about, but I have no complaints. And obviously, I guess it could branch further from the books the more episodes we see, which I'm assuming just from stuff we've seen that it will, I guess. But the first 2 are like spot on. What if they set us up all this time and they're like, look, it's an adaptation. It's not going to be just like the books. And it's just like beat for beat all the way through.
It was all a ploy.
It was all to lower expectations. So it's like, look, this is going to be like 90% books, but the 10% people are going to bitch about unless we like really make them think like it's not going to be like the book at all.
Yeah, Tom, to your point, I definitely don't have anything to complain about per se, but I definitely there's some changes and stuff that or not even just changes, just representations of what was in the book that I was like, interesting. I would like to talk about this out loud with people.
Yeah.
Obviously we can't talk about it, but it's, so there's a few of those things, but nothing complaint wise, I think.
Yeah. I'll just like vaguely talk about 2 of the changes. So if you don't want anything even remotely resembling a spoiler, press mute or something. Like, I just want to say there was 2 where when I first saw them, I was just like, what the fuck? And then as it went along, I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'd have to be ready for that. Because I think the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, one in particular, I think I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know about the other one.
I think they both worked out very well. I only felt like there was 2 major changes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
And anyone who has read it, I think they'll feel similarly. Most people will feel similarly to that.
I would agree, I think. Yeah. I mean, I don't know though, because like a lot of the people on Twitter and Facebook and stuff have
that's why I say most.
about, like some of the castings and I mean, if you've been happy with the castings and all the news and all the little tidbits we've gotten so far, you're gonna like it. You know, like it's
I don't know.
good.
The two changes I'm talking about, it's very clear why they made them, and I think they both work.
Yeah.
Is this horrible for people to listen to, or we're just being like?
I mean, no. This is what we got. We got to do it this way. Like, there's.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have an episode where we talk about the first episode and the second episode, and then we're gonna say everything that we're not saying right now. But I mean, like, this is just kind of like, let's talk about what we saw without ruining it for the people that haven't seen it.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. I think people see a lot of stuff that they're, from the books they'll be excited about. And then I think you'll see a lot of stuff that happened, off screen, quote unquote, in the book that they put on the screen that was awesome. Like, I think a lot of the fighting that Robert Jordan didn't put into the books is going to be on the screen. Like,
for sure.
Like Winter Night, obviously, everyone's seen the preview. Like, that's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I honestly can't. I was mad I couldn't watch the third one, and mad. I was like, they gave me a poster, and I just wanted, can you just give me a zip drive with the first 2 episodes? I've already seen them.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of like, watching the episode and not being able to just go home and like get on Amazon and be like, let me watch that again. I was like, what? Why can't I watch it again? I don't understand.
I would have already seen them both 3 times by now, at least.
Oh my God.
I got home at 10, like 45, 11 last night, because I had to walk pretty far. And then I don't think I fell asleep till like 1. Like, the lights were out at 11:15. And
your brain's just spinning.
I was trying to remember all the scenes and everything, and I was like, "Oh man, I can't wait to talk about it." And like,
we got home. I think probably, like I said, we kind of ran out of the theater. We went pretty fast, but like we got home relatively early because of that. So like we got home around 11ish or something like that. We're about 30 minutes away from Atlanta, so it's like we got home pretty quick. And then like, but I was up and just like firing off notes on my phone for like the show when we can do spoilers, and just being like, this was cool, this was cool, this was cool, this was cool, and none of them are in order, and it's gonna be so annoying to like kind of like sift through it all, because it was just like stream of consciousness. But it was like, I was like, oh man, I love that, I love that, I love that.
I was trying to remember the scenes in order, and I was like, I can actually pretty much do this, which is surprising for 2 hours. And then I was like, you've read the book 1,000.
Yeah.
And it's really not that different. You just have to remember a few like different parts. All right, I have a question for you guys.
Well, let's talk about Jay's comment real quick. As I was leaving, I heard a lot of folks talking. One comment was that they felt that the handling of Matt was an improvement over the books. Interesting.
I guess we can say yes or no. I can't go into detail about why I thought that.
Well, yeah, let's just answer yes or no. I think yes. As vaguely as I can make it.
The handling.
Let's put it this way: we've talked about on our podcast many times how Matt doesn't really come into his own or become like the Matt that we all like know and love until like book 3. And I feel like they're kind of nailing that already.
I don't know how to. I don't think I can answer this question without spoiling it.
Well, in all the teasers he's been in, you can tell that he speaks as a more mature person than early Matt in the early books. So you can tell
I'll say you learn a lot more about the core of his character, I guess. Because
that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, you kind of know who he is,
but I don't know if I like the way they got there necessarily. I understand.
Okay, fair enough.
But I don't love it. Maybe that would be the one thing this is difficult.
Yeah, we're treading a fine line here.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear what you say when you can talk after Friday.
Oh, I got tons to say.
I'm looking forward.
Do you want to? What about this? What about if we ran Matt Perrin, Egwene, Nynaeve, Moraine, Lan, and just said like it or not like it kind of thing, or how they handle the character as actors? I mean,
do that, I guess, and then I'll do one too.
Okay. What did you guys? I mean, well, let's just start with the obvious one. What did you guys think about Rand?
Are we doing like this or?
You can just keep it as spoiler free as you want to make it.
I thought it was spot on, and then there were times he annoyed me, and then when he was annoying me, I realized like this is exactly what happened in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Taffy?
Yeah, that's perfectly put.
Just same.
Same.
I mean, well, first of all, the actor did a really good job. So that was one of those things like when the casting of these characters, they're younger actors, they're less tested, they're not like movie stars. So like, you never know when like they're casting a guy, maybe he just looks like Rand, maybe he's not going to be good about, in terms of that, I think he was great.
Oh, acting, I thought he crushed it. And writing, I thought they nailed it. Like, they've got it so far.
So there we go. Tom, what do you want to bring up next?
Have we technically already done Matt?
I guess we kind of did Matt already.
All right, let's do Perrin.
All right, Perrin, yeah, okay.
I love Perrin.
Yeah.
I think Marcus is great.
I agree completely. I think how do you say this? I think he embodies the character of Perrin that we all know from later on in the books right away. I guess that's the best way to like put it.
Yeah,
like I don't feel like I'm gonna have to wait to see Perrin like be that Perrin.
I know exactly what you're trying to say. And I also feel like he's the one we got the least of. Does that feel right to you guys?
Sort of.
Well, once I asked the question, I was like,
I don't know. I feel like it's pretty even. I thought it was pretty even.
Yeah. Okay.
It was mildly Rand Egwene centric. Mildly, but I mean, I don't know. I think it was pretty even across the board.
Yeah. Very similar to the first book where Matt and Perrin were kind of off to the side, but at the same time, I think we got more of them than we get in the books.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No, that was good.
Yeah, that was good, Tom.
All right, Taffy, who do you want to talk about next?
Wait, Taffy, what was your
idea? Moiraine.
Wait, what? Moiraine. Oh, okay, Moiraine.
I still say it.
Rosamund Pike.
I started saying it Moiraine because it's W.
Wow,
It's MWA.
No, can't do it.
Moiraine. The goddess.
I think that's how I've always said it.
Moi. I think I say it more like more.
Moi, like French. Moi.
Yeah, I think I've always said that.
Aaron DeSimone and I were talking. This is her favorite artwork, and it's also my favorite artwork. It's the best.
Thank you so much.
Her eyes like haunt me. I look at this, and I'm just like, it's got like pulled in. I feel like there's life behind her eyes.
One of those pictures behind you is hanging in the office.
Very kind.
The producer of the Wheel of Time.
That's right.
The idea for Egwene. You mean the picture where they got the idea for the show? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, where they stole my visual.
Yeah.
No, we just like to joke about that. That's not true.
Wait, look, no, we're just trying to build.
Inspired. It was inspiration.
Anyway, Moiraine, what did you think?
I love Rosamund. I love Moiraine. She's great.
Of course you do. You love
She's
Moiraine.
so devoted to it. She's just so.
Yeah, she really is. I will say that. That's fantastic.
You can tell she loves it. Same as in all the teasers and the interviews. It just feels the same.
Yeah. I think my only thing with Moiraine is a little overpowered. Maybe.
Interesting. I mean, I guess in the broad scheme of things, sure, yeah. And I can't obviously discuss what specific think I'm thinking of, but yes, mildly overpowered, perhaps.
Like much
maybe she needs to be though.
Than I think she is typically. But
okay. Do you think that is part of the?
I think that's as vague as I think that's as much as I can say without.
Okay.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if that was too much, but like maybe not. that might be a thing I need to revisit when I see it again.
I think it's just the presentation of-
I like Moraine a lot. I think Rosamund crushed it, and in terms of like changes and shit that was different and weird or whatever, like all the changes just gave her more time to be Moraine. I guess is if that makes any sense without spoiling stuff. Like I was just like, oh, that was cool. That was an interesting change. I'm glad I got to see that scene that didn't exist in the books.
Acting and writing for her part, I still think they crushed it. But like, I was just like, this is a lot.
You guys are doing a great job of discussing this and not saying anything.
It made me.
I just complimented us on that as well.
It made me wonder what the dragon what can the Dragon Reborn do later if we're seeing some people do the things they're doing now, maybe. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I'm assuming devastatingly more. I mean, like, I could be wrong.
Maybe I should just get excited about that.
Yeah, maybe you should just don't worry about it. Just be excited. I don't know. Yeah, okay.
What did you guys think of the opening scene? Wait, are we never mind. We'll still go through the characters.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, it's my turn, Tom, and I want to talk about Egwene. What do you guys think about Egwene?
Taffy?
I think she's doing great.
All right.
We really can't say anything. We're so handcuffed.
Scared to say anything.
Yeah.
I thought she was absolutely fantastic as the actress, and the writing was great too. Just maybe a little more Egwene than I was expecting her to be this early on. But I was thinking
I
that
agree.
at the same time, like, no, it all worked. Like it.
Not really. Yeah.
This, the parts where I was like, Rand's being kind of a bitch. I was like, no, that matches the book, and I think. So the parts where I thought she was maybe being a little extra, I was like, no, I don't think she is. I think it matches the book perfectly. Like, I still think it was right. I think they nailed it, and I'd like her. I think maybe some of the stuff that I'm like making bigger in my head than it was in the show, like, and I'm wrong about, is like, I'm just not expecting a lot of these characters to have the role they're having, because in the book we just see it through one person's lens. So I think I still need to settle into that. Whereas the TV show, we're just watching everybody all at the same time.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'll say in terms of ensemble cast, they did a pretty decent job of like highlighting specific characters, or in equal time, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But like you didn't feel like anyone was getting the shaft. You're like, well, where's that guy? Or like kind of like, or where's Perrin? There's more Perrin. Like it felt pretty even. Maybe, like I said earlier, maybe like mildly more Egwene and Rand, but like, and Moraine as well. But like, like Matt, Perrin, and like Nynaeve got like maybe slightly less time than them, but not that much. Like kind of thing. It was pretty even across the board. And then I don't know. I guess I'm kind of excited from like Rafe's comments that he said before about we can't like wait for later episodes because it's going to be very like the books where there's like POV episodes, like just like chapters kind of thing. And I was like, that's going to be fucking cool. I can't like that'll be really cool to be like, it's a Perrin episode, like kind of like the same way you feel when you like turn the page and you're like, oh, it's a Matt chapter, kind of thing. Like that'll be fun to see those episodes in the future and be like, holy shit, this episode's like 90% Matt. This is fantastic, or whatever, or like whatever you're excited for. But like, that's kind of a cool. But initially, it seems like they're kind of doing their work in getting all of the characters enough time to kind of like then branch out into random episodes with like honing in on like Perrin or Egwene or Nynaeve or whatever the fuck, kind of thing.
All right, so let's cover the next character, and I'm going to say a specific scene, but it's not a spoiler. But if you're worried, don't listen, I guess. But we're going to do Lan. Hold on, it's not what you think either.
No, not you. Whoever's watching, if you don't like it, get out.
Oh, leave.
We all know they're on the run from Trollocs. We all know that Lan scouts ahead and comes back and whatever. That's in the book. Like, that's super obvious.
Yeah.
Everyone knows we're going to see that happen at some point. There's just that one scene. It's very quick, and it shows everybody riding through the woods, but Lan's not there because he's apparently like out scouting ahead. And then like the camera like pans back because he's like just 20 feet away in the trees with no horse in sight, just standing there staring at them. It's the funniest fucking. I laughed out loud in the theater. Do you remember that? So
First of all, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it gave me the impression that he had not only scouted forward, but then circled back around and was watching them leave to make sure they all followed.
Leading his horse. I'm saying it because I want everybody to notice it when they watch it, because it's like it's not spoilery at all. It's just fucking funny.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It took my brain a second. I was like, wait a minute, what? It was like it's kind of the equivalent of like Batman jumping off one side of the building and then like Commissioner Gordon's still like, where did he go? And then Batman's just behind him like, hey, what's up? Like, what the fuck? You know, it was pretty funny. I like that.
I like Lan a lot. I can't get into any more specifics without actually spoiling stuff. Like there's a moment here and there where I was just kind of like, but overall, awesome. And he did a great job.
He did a great job.
I just remembered him standing in the woods again.
I can't wait. I did not notice that. So I'm looking forward to
Oh man. You gotta watch that.
I think I was like half hypnotized the whole time for 2 hours.
Yeah, probably.
In and out of being aware of where I was and then what I was actually watching.
I could feel the theater around me. Everyone was just like, what the fuck was that?
Okay.
I mean, I noticed. I don't know how many people noticed in the theater around me. I don't know.
That's why I need everybody to notice it.
I want everyone to notice it. And it's not the land scene that you think we're going to be talking about. Yeah, okay.
I know what you thought I was going to say.
I mean, we can't talk about it.
Yeah, we can't talk about it.
Anyway. So, all right. Okay. All right. I think we did a pretty good job of no spoilers.
There's still one more character.
Oh no, I'm not done. I'm just saying I think we're doing a pretty good job of no spoilers.
Yeah, that scene I pointed out, that's not a spoiler, right? Maybe a little.
No, I don't.
Not really.
I mean, in the vaguest sense of the word, maybe.
That would be like, that's like.
It's not a character change, or it's not like a story like pivot, or it's nothing. No, that was just a cute thing to make us watch out for.
Yeah.
Who knows? People were walking in front of us a lot, so I'm guessing that's why I missed it.
You might have missed it
because I wasn't paying attention. So
How dare they?
Who's our?
Did they step on your foot?
No, I just stuck my boot out.
Who's our last main character here?
Nynaeve.
Yeah.
Nynaeve. As we say it here on tWoTcast.
20 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. She's fucking good.
It's awesome.
You know, I remember so the winter night scene, not the winter night scene, the Wine Spring Inn scene that they showed us already. You know, like where Lan walks in and Rain walks in. So again, not spoilers. We're talking about something that was already on the internet. Where she kind of like holds her knife and like says, "Who are you, stranger?" Like talking to Lan kind of thing. I remember seeing that and going like, it seems a little like, I don't know. Like, you know, kind of like she's trying too hard, or why is she holding her knife the whole time? It always makes her seem weak and less brave. You know, like, because she's just like holding her knife like, I'll take this out at any second. And you're just like, that doesn't. But never mind. Like when you see it in context and then you see the entirety of Nynaeve's scenes, like I was like, the best. You're awesome.
When Marie walked past her, I started laughing out loud. No one else laughed.
Me too. The
look that she gives her, I started laughing.
Taffy, you and I were laughing on either sides of the seaboards.
Hilarious. You know, because I got the knife and everything, all first episodes of every single show ever are a little goofy.
That's the other thing.
There's extra drama. Nobody, you know. So I think the end, and it smooths out for sure, but
If it's
just
this
that
good, this
Moraine
early-
walking past Nynaeve is like one of those things where I'm like, is that why she hates her for the rest of eternity? That could literally be it.
Yeah.
Oh,
no one
man.
forgets a snub.
Yeah,
No,
especially that she's the wisdom.
but if the special effects, the writing, the acting, the direct, if it's all this good this early, like it's gonna be goddamn.
Right.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show.
All right, so last
What's that?
oh, never mind, keep going.
No, what were you saying?
I was just gonna get us on the road to wrapping up.
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
Because I was thinking about it trying to fall asleep last night. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna rank these characters in my head, like, favorite to least favorite, and then it ended up being the exact same as I feel about them in the book. So I guess my question is, did any of the characters in the show like do anything to greatly increase or decrease your opinion of them from the book?
Excellent question. Huh. I mean, Taffy, if you have something to say, I don't know.
Well, the pacing.
I don't.
mean, even just from trailers and interviews, like the pacing allows you to actually love them faster.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like, let's say like you kind of like Perrin in the book, but you loved him in the show, or you love Perrin in the book, but you only kind of liked him in the show. Anything like that for any of these characters stand out, or
Perrin. It's interesting.
I was actually going to say that same thing. I feel like Perrin definitely, I care way more about him. Like sooner, like I said earlier in the show, like you kind of get the Perrin that you get later in the books, like right away. Like, and same with Matt, sort of. So like you kind of like they kind of just embody the entirety of that character early on in the show. It seems so. Like I think the main movement in terms of like ranking and how much I love the characters, it's definitely Perrin ratcheted up a little bit for me.
For me, Egwene jumped up a few levels. Like I have a much higher opinion of her in the show than I did like when I read the first 10 chapters of The Eye of the World.
Okay. Yeah. Also, I mean, I grew to love Egwene in the books, and I guess she's sort of like Perrin in that way for me.
My opinion of Matt is the same, but for different reasons.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I think I agree with Taffy. What do you think?
I'm pretty much right on with what you guys are saying, and I'm just gonna say that because I'm fucking scared to say anything. But I mean, it's gonna. If you like what you've seen so far, you're going to continue to like what you see because they've been
good,
right? I think.
Yeah.
Because
I don't. So, what do you think about this? Joe from Talker Enriad said this as we were walking out, kind of a joke, but he's like, "We finished the first episode, and then when it was over, I was like, I kind of feel like I'd already seen it." Do you feel like if you piece together the previews, that's almost like how much of the first episode do you feel like you're missing?
Yeah, that's why I don't love like, for instance, like when a movie's coming out, then I'm like say a Marvel movie, I'll watch the first trailer, but then I'll kind of like stop watching the trailer because like the closer you get to the movie, the more the trailers reveal and show you stuff, and I'm like, I kind of just don't. I almost didn't want to watch the Wine Spring Inn scene. And Joe, we did it because we're doing on the show.
Yeah, we make $100,000 a week from this streaming show. Like it's our job to watch this stuff. We don't have a choice.
Yeah, I know. I have to. But I mean, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I don't like. But yeah, because you've seen like we saw the whole Wine Spring Inn scene. You've seen enough in the trailers that when you start to. When you piece all that together in a show, it does sort of feel like you've seen the whole thing. There was a lot of questions answered in terms of like, well, that was in the trailer, but what does that mean? Is it in this place in the show, or is it in this place in the show, or like what's that? You know, like obviously those questions were answered because you saw it in sequence. But I mean, I don't. Yeah, a little bit, I guess. Yeah, you get a little bit of like, that was cool, but I can't wait to see more because most of that was in the trailer. You know, like I saw some of that.
All right, so Jono gave his rating. Final ratings for you guys. 1 being Winter's Dragon. On a scale of Winter's Dragon from 10 being the Cape, how did you feel about it?
The Cape?
Yeah.
Oh.
Easily
Well,
a 9
because nothing's better than the cake.
Easily a 9.9 for me. Like,
Yeah, I said not a 9.
yeah. You can't. No one's touching the cape, but they came damn close.
6 seasons in a movie, you know, it's gonna happen. They're bringing it back.
Hey, what if it was 6 seasons in a movie? That would be fucking incredible. If the last battle was a 2-hour movie, fuck yeah.
Oh, that'd be so
Don't you
good.
think they did
Spoiler,
a
there's a last battle.
of like preparing us? Don't you think it's good that if other people said, I feel like I've already seen the first episode because of all the content they put out, like
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's just the marketing department going like, listen, these book nerds are gonna rip us a new asshole unless we show them some shit. we got to get out ahead of this monster.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So last question in the comments, somebody asked, have we talked to anybody that's seen the trailer but has never read the books? My wife hasn't read the books and she is fucking pumped for the show.
Awesome.
That's true. Yeah.
I got out and I was like, it's great. And she just texted me back and said, no spoilers.
Oh,
So
rad. That's cool. That'll be fun for you guys to watch then. She's gonna.
no, it won't. Because unless she is wrapped with attention and loves every minute of it, I'm just going to resent her. Like if she checks her phone once while she's watching it, I'm going to be like, we're getting
Yeah. So
we just better to let her watch it on her own.
just no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, sort of. Lauren, my wife, kind of fits into that same category because I mean, she's read book 1, but that's it. You know, like she hasn't gone beyond that. I think she's kind of started book 2, but she's heard you and me and Jono and even Taffy talk about and gone to every Jordan Con and like talk about these books so long. She knows the characters so well that like it's just like, you know, for her it's like, oh yeah, I get it. I know that. The White Tower. I get that. Yeah, it's that thing. You know, like when she watched the trailer, you know what I mean? Like she's just like, oh, it's the White Tower. That's cool. They made it look like that. And I'm like, you haven't even been to the White Tower in the books, you know, like, yeah, kind of thing. You know, but it's, you know, she just knows so much from, you know, being around us for so long.
Did she have fun? Did she like it?
Oh yeah, she liked it a lot. She loved it. Yeah. So cool. that's kind of a good point is what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, she is only read the first book so far. And then but she got to watch the episodes last night with us as well, and like she was like, that was fucking awesome, blah blah blah, blah, and like just had a million things to say. And I was like, I'm so glad you're excited because you know, it just shows that like someone that's like me that's read the books over and over and over and over again, and her who has only read book 1 and just been hanging out with me for 10 fucking years and listening to me ramble on like a lunatic, both came out of the show going, really good. I really liked it. Can't wait to watch more, you know, kind of thing.
And then Lindsay, she's got to be somewhat familiar with it because of being married to you.
Yeah, she's like read like half of book 1.
Okay.
And then
Wendy, what did Otto Bennington have to say about
she's
it?
like, I'll get back to it. And I'm just like, you can just tell me you don't want to read it. I don't care.
He liked it and he's going to enjoy it, but he was like, you know, talking about a lot of like the production, post-production, and
like technical aspects of it.
Yeah, he's like looking at, he's trying to figure out who's doing the color correction. DI.
He's like, who is the DP?
I've never heard of this post company. Like they just set this stuff, you know. So.
You know, non-spoilery thing that we haven't really talked about. Like, I really liked the scope of it. Like the scenes where they're riding horses and it's just like giant open countryside. It was really cool.
We've seen a lot of that already. So
there was a few surprising things that I wasn't expecting just from literally just them riding horses. Like nothing's happening. They're just riding horses and you're like, holy shit, that looks fucking amazing. And that's all I can say really, but like, you know, like just like the scope of the show in terms of like there's history to the world that they're riding through, you know, like kind of thing. Like that was really cool. Like there's clearly a lot of thought put into everything just happening in the background. Like
we've heard him say the world building, you know, is so important. Like honestly,
yeah,
I think they asked Jen from Talk Around Riyadh, like, why do you think, people are excited? Why do you think they like these books? And like, I don't know what my answer would be, but like, honestly, one of the biggest things for me is like the world building that he did. Like, it's meticulous.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So on that note, like, I really think they nailed it just in a few like seconds, like on random scenes. Like they just nailed these little things that like visually expand your depth of like what's going on while they just walk from here to there or whatever. Like, and I was like, holy shit, that was fucking cool. Like that's it. Like it's just like, wow, that was neat. And then it's like on to the next scene, and you're like, wow, that was a lot of thought put into that 2 milliseconds of horses riding, over a bridge, by a river or whatever, like kind of thing. Like it's just like stuff like that. That's kind of exciting. So that'll be kind of cool to see more of that as the shows come out, or as the episodes come out.
That's true.
So that's tWoTcast for this week. Is that what that arrow is?
You nailed it.
That's tWoTcast for this week. If you what? Huh?
You guys did a good job on this. It's difficult to do, and you did really well.
It's difficult for us.
I thought we'd make it 30 minutes, and then like we don't have anything else to say because we can't.
Right.
Yeah. Jono and Tom and I not spoiling something and just rambling on about like everything that we saw and how it integrates into the books, and very, very difficult for us to do.
I knew we could do it. I knew we could do it.
If you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and in theory, we'll get better at responding to them. Hit the like button and subscribe. The best way to contact us is on Twitter at tWoTcast.
No. The best way to contact us is to sign up for Patreon and send us a message there after you've given us
That's
money.
not true, but
Yes.
also do that. You can listen to this show wherever you get your podcasts, not just watch it here. tWoTcast theme songs brought to you by the one, the only Taffy Bennington. She was on the show tonight, guys.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope I contributed, but also I was trying to be very careful. So I was mostly, but I enjoy listening to you guys talk, obviously. So I was thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're replacing Jono. You don't have to say thanks for having me anymore. You're part of the show.
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
I'm Jono now.
We're phasing him out.
Got to change your name.
At some point, Jono's head in the logo is just gonna like Taffy's head will be there.
When he left earlier, we bail fired him. He's gone forever.
Taffy Bennington is Sing with Taffy on Twitter and Anarchy 101 on YouTube. Also, everyone's favorite musician on Twitter of time, Andrel, does our normal outro. At Andrel Genhold on Twitter and Andrel Bar of Time on YouTube. Thank you to our guest, Taffy Bennington. We already kind of did that, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Cheers.
Thank you for being here, Taffy. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Join us next episode for more Wheel of Time content covering our actual spoiler review of episode 1, which will probably be the next episode of the Wheel of Time. I'm Joe. Say goodnight, Jono. He's already gone.
Bye, Tom.
And Tom.
Study math.
Keep the change, you filthy animals. And, I guess it's important that we should probably say this. Goodbye, Taffy.
Goodbye.
Bye, Taffy.
We don't have a cute outro for you.
I'll just say.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast go.